Marcy here, and if you would like to learn how to get this 100% drugstore look, just keep on watching. By the way, I do want to note that this video is definitely going to be a voiceover. I know on the West Coast you guys are used to it being 100 degrees, but here on the East Coast we are just not that quite used to it yet. Okay guys, so the first thing I'm going to do is mix my NYX Q10 Skin Elixir with my L'Oreal Magic Lumi, and I'm just going to do it on my little palette and then place it all over my face and rub it in. This way I feel like I'm still getting that nice tacky base that my makeup will stick to, and adding some luminosity without making it too luminous, because I feel like if you do the L'Oreal by itself, it doesn't take much to become way too dewy. So I'm just mixing this all over my face, and this has been my new favorite method of putting my primer on lately. Then I'm going to go into my NYX pore filler, and of course just put that in the areas where I need to reduce the size of my pores, primarily my nose, my cheeks, my forehead, my chin. Nothing new, same primer steps as I usually have. Then I'm going into my NYX Dark Circle Concealer, and I'm going to be putting that just a little bit under my eyes, and then anywhere where I have any active breakouts or redness, anything that I want covered up that I don't think foundation will be able to do by itself. I'm also going to be using the Dark Circle Concealer on my eyes as like an eyeshadow base, and then I'm just going to simply pat that in with my fingers and then just blend anything that's left over with a damp sponge. Next, we're going into foundation, and I'm going to be mixing these two Maybelline Dream Wonder foundations together to create my perfect shade, since I am a little bit more tan right now. I know it doesn't look like it on camera, but I am. And actually, I am so sunburnt right now. I was going to film a video today, I might still, but if you guys were to see, I'm totally lobster. I got so sunburnt this weekend, and I'm in so much pain. I have not been sunburnt in so long. Yeah, I'm just mixing these two foundations together on my face, just striping one on and then striping the other on it, so it kind of all blends together, and then just blending it out with a damp sponge. But I absolutely love this foundation. I think that it is like the drugstore dupe for the Too Faced Born This Way foundation, and I don't understand why no one talks about it, because it gives you such a nice coverage. It's truly weightless on your face, and I really just don't understand why more people don't talk about it, because it is like probably one of the best foundations you can get at the drugstore, in my own personal opinion. Then I'm gonna go in with my Wet n Wild fluffy brush, and I'm going to be using these three shadows in the corner. They're actually the Physicians Formula Baked Eyeshadow Trio. The neutral one, I think it's called Baked Butter or something like that. I'll have it down below. These shadows are amazing because they're your neutral colors. They're your white, your brown, and a nice transition shade. They're super pigmented, very easy to blend, and sometimes you can actually even find this trio in the dollar store. Their shadows are just amazing. I absolutely love them. I use them all the time. But I'm going into that peach shade. I'm just going to put that all over as a transition color. If you don't already own these shadows, you gotta find them and use them. They're absolutely amazing for drugstore, and especially if you can find them at the dollar store. They are great shadows to have, and I seriously use them like every single day. After I'm done blending out the transition, that peachy shade, I'm going to be going into the white shade of the trio and just put that on my brow bone to make like a nice little lighter brow bone highlight. And then I'm going to be going in with the dark brown shade and putting that in my crease area, and I'm using the same Wet n Wild fluffy brush for all three of them. For our lids, I'm going to be using another Wet n Wild product, and you can also find this one at the dollar store, I think right now, and it's the Fergie Shimmer Eyeshadow Primer. Oh my god guys, this is the most beautiful eyeshadow primer I think I've seen in a long time. And we're actually just going to use this as our all-over lid color, because you'll see in a second, I'll swatch it on my hand. It is gorgeous, and it truly lasts all day. It is not going to budge once you put it on. I'm just putting it all over my lid with my finger, and it's just this beautiful light baby pink shimmery color. You can actually wear this all by itself, just on the lid, and totally get away with it. It's a gorgeous color, and seriously, you can pick it up right now for $1 at the dollar store. We are going to be putting some more colors on top of it though, and for this I'm using one of the new Milani palettes. It's the Vital Brights palette. And I'm gonna be dipping into that pretty shimmery pink shade with another Wet n Wild brush. This one is a flat shader brush. And all these Wet n Wild brushes, I think were also at the dollar store. So a lot of this stuff that I'm using right now, you can actually find in your local Dollar Tree if you have one. If not, they're also located in a whole bunch of drugstores. But I'm just gonna dip into that shimmery pink shade and just pat it with a brush all over the outer half of my eye. Then using the Milani brush that actually came with the palette, I'm going to use the smaller end and dip it into that pretty shimmery gold color and place that in the inner corner for a nice pop of highlight, and then just blend it out with that Wet n Wild fluffy brush. Then I'm using an e.l.f. brush. This is a small flat shader brush from e.l.f. and I'm going to go back into that dark brown from the Physicians Formula Trio and just further define my crease right at the outer part of my eye and kind of just blend it together so we get a nice transition effect. I did lose some of that brown color when I was doing the shading with the Milani colors. I just kind of want to bring that back a little bit into the eye. Then we're gonna leave the eyes alone for a little bit. We're gonna move on to concealer. I have been in love with this CoverGirl Fresh Complexion Concealer lately. I think it works nice, it lasts, it doesn't crease crazy on me, and I'm really just using this to brighten and highlight parts of my face, as well as give a little bit of coverage. So I'm just gonna dot this all over and then just blend it out with my sponge. Speaking of highlighting, we are going to highlight now, and I'm going to be using the new Wet n Wild Mega Glow Multi-Stick Highlighter. I was just raving about this on my channel not that long ago. This is the color Marigold Round. It is the lightest color of the three that they've come out with so far, and it's absolutely beautiful. And I did say in one of my videos, the thing I like most about it is the fact that you can just put it right on your face from the stick and it won't move or budge or screw up your foundation. So you'll see me doing that here right now, just highlighting my face with it, just dragging it down from my temple to the high planes of my cheeks and then just blending it out with my sponge, and you will see it gives this beautiful luminous glow to my skin. Then using that same e.l.f. brush we just did for the crease work, we're going to go back into the dark brown with that e.l.f. brush again and just shade it on our lower lash line. And then we're gonna take the purple from the Milani palette and just put it right over it to keep with that pinky purpley theme we have going on. And for the purple shadow, I'm going to be going in with that flatter half of the Milani brush that came in with the palette, just for a more specific placement of it. And then getting into the rest of our face, I'm going to be using the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer along with this Posh Angled brush. Posh, I know you can find in some drugstores. I find a lot of mine in Kmart if you have a Kmart near you, but their brushes are affordable and they're really nice. I have been so in love with this butter bronzer lately. It's like the perfect bronzer. You look at it and you think it's too light, but it really just leaves this nice shadow on your face, and I love it. I absolutely love it. Not to mention it smells amazing, as I'm sure you all know. Then to further contour the face, these are just the pans I've taken out from the Wet n Wild contouring palettes. I'm going to be using the contouring shade from the Dolce de Leche palette, as well as the highlighting shade, just to kind of set what we've done so far on the face. And for that, I'm using my all-time favorite, my e.l.f. small taper brush. You guys know this is my ride or die brush. I use it every day, all the time. I must own like 5 of them at this point, and they're good brushes, and they last for forever. I swear to God, I've had these brushes for like 5 years now. And of course, we can't leave our eyebrows alone. So for this, I'm going to be using 2 NYX products, the NYX Eyebrow Gel and the NYX Micro Brow Pencil. I'm going to be using the NYX Eyebrow Gel first on the outer half of my brow to create my tail, and then blend it in towards the front with a Micro Brow Pencil. And with the gel, I am using my Posh Flat Liner brush. I got a whole bunch of, like a 10-piece Posh set for like $5, but they get the job done and they're super affordable. After I lay down the gel, I'm just simply blending it all together with the Micro Brow Pencil in the front, and it creates just a nice natural brow that will stay in place all day. Then we're going to be going into blush, and of course I'm using the Milani Baked Blush in Luminoso, this pretty peachy pinky color. It's perfect for summer. Everyone on YouTube raves about it because it's beautiful. It's beautiful and it works. So I'm going to be going into that with my Real Techniques blush brush, and then I'm going to be blending it all together with that Posh brush again. Next is mascara. I do not have a real drugstore mascara. Unfortunately, the one I had dried out and I had to throw it away. So I'm using my oldie but goodie, my Ulta Amped Lashes. This is only like $8 or $10 at Ulta. It's right around the same price as Drugstore, and it gives a really nice, voluminous, and lengthening effect to the brows without making them look clumpy, and I tend to use them all the time. Before I put mascara on my lower lashes, I'm going to finish off my lower lash line with the Rimmel Exaggerate liner in my waterline. It's just a pretty nude color. It lasts all day, it's super creamy, it's not hard to put on, and it's really affordable. I think it's only like $4, and then finish it off with the mascara. I'm gonna set that highlighter with the Wet n Wild Mega Glow highlighter in Catwalk Pink. So I'm just putting that right over the other Wet n Wild cream highlighter I did, just so it stays in place throughout the day. And then we're going to move on to lips, and then we are done. I did have the NYX Plump It Up, I think, plumping lip gloss on, so I'm just taking that off. And I'm using an Ulta lip liner. Again, they're not Drugstore. I don't have a Drugstore lip liner on hand right now. However, they are super affordable. They're the same price as Drugstore. I think they're like $6 or $8, and these last all day. They are super pigmented, and once you put them on, they are not coming off. They really are that good. I think this one is in the color Fresh, and then I'm going to be using a matching lipstick color from Milani. I think it's Matte Blissful. I could be wrong. I'll put it down there if I'm wrong. And then after you put your lips on, that's it. We're done, guys. So that's it, guys. That's it for this look. I hope you enjoyed. As always, any questions, comments, you guys know where to leave them down below. And if you like what I bring to YouTube every week, you can always just like and hit that subscribe button. You can also find me on all kinds of social media at Marcy_K with 2 Y's, just like it is here. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Love yous.